everybody for giving me a reason to wear a blazer today. I've dolled up. I classed up for everybody. I'm totally COVID curly, but that's what we're doing today. So welcome and thank you for allowing me to be your MC for today's celebration. Now, we have a couple of housekeeping details, and so many of you have figured this out. I can see that you're working on it, but let me just go over them for you. Housekeeping details. If you have any questions, if there's any tech issues, there's a little table in the bottom on my screen. It's bottom right. Just go to the tech support and they will help you. They've been incredible this morning getting everybody squared away. You can double click on tables and pop around and meet everybody afterwards, since now we're in the show. But afterwards, you can do a little bit of networking as well. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm going to make sure I get everything so that everybody is ready to roll. I think we're good here. Okay, so for those of you who didn't read in the chat what my name is, as I see everybody's shouting me out, thank you. I'm Jess Averhart, and I'm the Interim Chief Development Officer for the United Way of the Greater Triangle, and I was also formerly the Vice Chair of the organization just all of a year ago. So I'm really honored and grateful to be here with you today. So what's our mission? Our mission is to eradicate poverty and increase social mobility through the power of partnerships. And that is why we are here today. We are breaking bread virtually through this amazing platform, Lunchpool. We got the opportunity to meet this incredible founder. He's wonderful, Alex, who's also at that tech table. So if you want to meet him, but we're doing this, we're breaking bread virtually. But the point is that we're doing it, right? We're breaking bread in spite of all of the disruption that's going on in the world. It's time to celebrate and gear up for our community for the 2020 campaign. So again, thank you again for joining us, for being a part of this. Kids are back in school, things are hectic, and yet you're here with us today. So thank you so much for that. Do you want to know how much we put in the community last year, 2019? We put $7 million back into this community, to your neighbors, to your families, to your communities. That's what the United Way of the Greater Triangle is about. And so congratulations to you, the builders. Today is all about you, to thank you for that hard work that you do every day to inspire your coworkers and your colleagues to give to the United Way so that we can put more money back into the street. All right. So who are we going to hear from today? We're going to hear from Eric Gucan, of course, who is the United Way of the Greater Triangle's president and CEO. We're also going to hear from Greg Winkler, who is our esteemed board chair. We will hear from Jay Irby, who's our philanthropy chair with the United Way. He serves on our board. He's also representing First Citizens and does an incredible job with this campaign championship. And then last, we'll close out with Ron Pringle, who is the brand new president and CEO at the Interfaith Food Shuttle. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Eric Gucan, again, the president and CEO of the United Way of the Greater Triangle. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jess. And thanks to all of you for being here today. You know, last year we got together, not virtually, but in person, to enjoy a lunch and talk about the incredible advancements that we've made as a United Way here in the Greater Triangle. And I couldn't be prouder of the work that we're doing right now as we face this pandemic, as we lean into our mission to eradicate poverty and increase social mobility through the power of partnerships. This partnership with each and every one of you has never been more important than it is right now. COVID-19 has brought us together in a lot of different ways, but it's also brought us to our knees. Our most vulnerable populations are hurting right now. Last year, I told you that there are 200,000 folks that are suffering from the ravages of poverty, and we know and believe that that number is double, even tripled in the last few months. People are hurting right now. And the reason why we're able to provide help to the 85 nonprofits that are helping the people that are hurting and the demands that are soaring right now is because of you. You are the people that have reached into your wallets and reached into your hearts to ensure that every child is not going hungry, that every child has an opportunity to have an excellent education, even though they may lack some of the resources to ensure that they can get the virtual learning that they deserve. Every adult and family has access to a warm and nutritious meal. These things are happening because of you. Today, we're here to celebrate you because you are the builders of this movement that we call the Triangle. We're hurting right now. We're in a crisis, but I know that together we will build a better way. And I'm so grateful for everything you all do each and every day in your businesses, with your families, and as a member of this United Way to make life better for so many people. We're grateful and we're honored that you're here today. And we look forward to many years to come as we move from emergency response to stabilizing to recovering in this pandemic. Thank you so much. And we're grateful for all you do.
Thank you so much, Eric. Could not have said that better around builders and the work that we do every day. Now I want to turn this over to the United Way of the Greater Triangle's chairman, Greg Winkler, to talk to us about why United Way. Greg, take it away.
Good afternoon. I'm Greg Winkler, board chair of the United Way of the Greater Triangle Board of Directors. I've served on the United Way board now for more than 5 years, but have donated through our work campaigns for well over 30 years. I choose to serve like many of you because I believe in the organization's mission to eradicate poverty and increase social mobility through the power of partnerships. I choose to serve because I believe in the local United Way's leadership and the awesome staff that we have that help lead us to invest in the right solutions to solve our community's most pressing challenges. Specifically, some of the recent needs are the Rapid Response Fund to help with COVID-related needs, and now we're kicking off the Anti-Racism Community Fund to help facilitate with many others in our community the end of systematic racism in the Triangle. Lastly, I choose to serve because I passionately believe in the power of collective impact, where we serve side by side to leverage our resources that accelerates our results. It's because we are better together. I once heard a preacher say there's only 2 types of people, those that struggle in life and those that will. So if you're struggling today or know folks that are struggling today to meet their basic needs, the United Way is here to serve them. If you are not struggling today, it is our responsibility, and I believe our moral obligation, to help those in need at their time of need. Because of COVID-19, there are many more needs than ever before, and nobody is insulated from this pandemic. Any one of us can be impacted. When I look out at all of you, if we were in person, this is probably where I'd stop and say to each one of you, I don't see a group of people here in this room today. I see a movement of passionate, caring, and committed folks that are willing to make a difference for those in need. We are better together. Our individual impact can help create waves of change, but our collective impact can move mountains. Mountains that most people say couldn't be moved. I know you are committed like I am to see how many more mountains we can move together, mountains that otherwise people say are impossible. So on behalf of the board of directors, we say thank you to each and every one of you. We appreciate you serving as our campaign leaders and volunteers. We thank you for your commitment, your passion, and your positive attitude of how you serve as volunteers. The campaign resources raised are a critical part of our financial budget, so we say thank you. Thank you also for the sacrifice you made, and I hope you will continue to make with your time, talent, and treasure, knowing that the difference you make for our neighbors struggling to find enough food, a stable home, good health care, and other basic needs. Quite frankly, things that you and I take for granted. You are the United in United Way, and I'm honored to be here and serve alongside with each one of you. So please enjoy the rest of the program as we celebrate you today.
Gosh, Greg, you said so many things in that resonated with me. One is there's 2 types of people, those who struggle and those who will. I think we all can say we've been on both sides of that equation at some point in our life, and I really appreciate you bringing that forward, as well as talking about moving mountains, which again is why we're here today, to talk about the people who move these mountains in the Triangle, right? That's what this is about. That's what we're doing every day when we think about other people, others in our community. So now I want to kick this over to Jay Irby, who is the chair of our philanthropy committee, also serves on our board of directors and represents First Citizens Bank. Jay, thanks so much. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jay Irby. I'm the Triangle Area Exec for First Citizens Bank, and I'm a longtime supporter of the United Way. I'm here this morning to thank all of you for your involvement in the 2020 United Way campaign. Now, prior to joining the board of the United Way, I had the pleasure of leading First Citizens corporate campaigns for a number of years. And it was so rewarding to see our associates' excitement around our company's campaign goals, the collection of school supplies, and of course, our days of caring. In addition, our associates were able to see firsthand the amazing work of so many of our partner agencies and how the United Way works with everyone in collaboration to help eradicate poverty, improve social mobility through the power of partnership. Now, the impact of the events of 2020 have affected all of us, each and every one of us. But the most affected during these difficult times are the ones who are most served by the United Way. The United Way works with 85 agencies who do absolutely amazing things here in the Triangle area. And while many of these agencies have had to shift gears and ramp up operations, the one thing that they haven't had to worry about was their funding from the United Way. And the reason for that is simple: you. Workplace giving has always been the backbone of the United Way's impact in the Triangle. Your passion and influence drives incredible change, and your support has made it possible for the United Way to continue to provide absolute critical support to our community during this true crisis. I take a lot of great pride in the fact that I'm from the Triangle area. I spent basically my entire life here. And throughout my life, I've seen a great deal of change. Much of it has been amazingly positive. But don't be mistaken, we're a large community and we've got large community problems to solve. And there are well over 200,000 people in our community that need our help. Through our corporate involvement and giving, we as a united community can help our most vulnerable at-risk people during this crisis. And the truth is, we have a crisis. I once heard a speaker say the alarming part of the phrase, "we have a crisis," isn't the word crisis, it's the word we. Because that one word takes responsibilities off the shoulder of one of us and rests it firmly on the shoulders of all of us. We must be united. But I know the true measure of the Triangle community is how we rise to meet these challenges when they do arise. So I'd like to again thank each one of you for your time, your talent, and your treasure during the 2020 United Way campaign. You all and your companies are the change makers in our communities, and your companies and associates will have a strong impact on dealing with all of our current needs as we work together to build a path forward. Thank you all.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks so much for inspiring us and reminding us why we do this. It's awesome. And it's a perfect transition into our awards, and that's where we're headed. So get ready. I know this is the moment you've been waiting for. This is why we're here, right? We're here for the 2019 Celebration of Builders. So let's get started. We're going to kick things off with our very first category, which is the highest campaign growth in 2019. We want to celebrate our first winner, which is Durham Public Schools. Yay, Durham Public Schools. And that's where you go into chat and you can do yay, right? Okay. Durham Public Schools. Durham Public Schools has been a great partner with the United Way for many, many years. The leadership at DPS worked hard to re-energize the employees around the importance of supporting nonprofits, including the DPS Foundation and others. Their growth during 2019 is celebrated as they focused on having a successful annual giving campaign for many students and families in the Triangle. Congratulations, Durham Public Schools. It's awesome. Now, our next winner in the category of 2019 corporate partner for the highest campaign growth is Wegmans. Wegmans moved into North Carolina in 2018 and has made a great contribution to the community. Through food donations to pantries and schools, they are making sure that no one in the Triangle goes hungry. The Wegmans staff has jumped right in and attended several United Way of the Greater Triangle volunteer events. And so many congratulations to Wegman Food Markets. All right. And our final winner in the category of the highest campaign growth is, I love this, I wish we had a little drum roll, Coastal Credit Union. All right, Coastal, thank you so much for leading the way in fundraising for the United Way. Coastal hosts an extensive campaign with many opportunities for employees to engage. Coastal also generously supported our 2019 10 program as well as our Rapid Response Fund. Thank you so much, Coastal. It's awesome. All right, now we're going to another category. This category is our community engagement. We want to celebrate those winners. And our first of two corporate partners that we're going to recognize today is Nationwide. Nationwide is committed to year-round engagement and volunteering across the Triangle. Their volunteers are the first to answer our calls for help and always show up with a smile. Nationwide is always incorporating at least one volunteer opportunity a week into their campaign season, ensuring that every associate has the chance to participate. Wow, that's impressive. Thank you, Nationwide, for your leadership and your service. Now, our final winner in the category of community engagement is Capital Broadcasting Company. Capital Broadcasting Company has been a strong corporate partner for United Way for years. In fact, CBC was my first taste of the United Way when I came to the Triangle. Each of the divisions, they are dedicated to the expertise to support our initiatives. More specifically, our response to COVID. Our partnership with CBC allowed us to host two, not one, but two virtual telethons for the Rapid Response Fund and more recently for our Anti-Racism Community Fund. The Durham Bulls even hosted a Wash Your Horns campaign, which sounds very cool, to encourage individuals to stay safe during COVID. Thank you so much, Capital Broadcasting Company, for always sharing your expertise in broadcasting and inviting your friends and fans and audience to make an impact wherever you are to support community engagement. Congratulations, CBC. All right, we are moving along here. Our next award category is Supply Drive. We'll wait for that slide. There we go. All right. So this category, last year, we gave this an award for the very first time, and we honored First Citizens Bank, the one that Jay Irby represents. And we honored them for their incredible ability to organize a dynamic and exemplary supply drive in this spirit of excellence. And so we are honored this year to celebrate this year's winner who has followed in their footsteps. Let's give a hand to the 2019 Supply Drive winner, the Zachary Group. Congratulations, Zachary Group. That's an important group of individuals in the Triangle. Listen, they're a small team, and their experience in nuclear safety is an invisible yet critical element to keeping us safe. This year, Zachary Group reimagined their support to the community and found innovative ways to collect supplies for our Cradle Career funded partners. They delivered hundreds of diapers to the Diaper Bank of North Carolina during our leadership event to ensure that they could participate despite having to be at the office. That's so incredible. Thank you so much. Oh, and more to it. Several weeks later, the Zachary Group actually provided out-of-school learning kits. I forgot about this. We got to mention this. They also provided out-of-school learning kits to support STEM initiatives, helping our future generations increase their social mobility. Yes, part of our mission. Thank you, Zachary Group, a small and mighty team that has impacted many children throughout the year. Okay, now for our next category, we are going to feature corporate impact. All right, corporate impact. And this year we have one winner. Our 2019 corporate impact winner is Weatherby Healthcare. Weatherby Healthcare organizes its annual auction with a live auctioneer to raise support for the United Way campaign. Over the last few years, they have raised about $30,000 in this hour-long event, okay? It's hosted by their incredible site lead who builds on this hype and enthusiasm amongst the employees. Some of the prizes even include home-cooked meals, hosted by Mike, PTO, and air tickets. What? Like, that's so cool how much money they raise in just 1 hour. Congratulations, Weatherby Healthcare. All right, and now our final award. Here we go. Final award. Power of Partnership Award. That's our mission, the Power of Partnership. And this year, we want to recognize the 2019 Power of Partnership Award winner as Deloitte. The Deloitte team here in the Triangle encourages a friendly competition between its tax, audit, and advisory and consulting services. The senior leaders who also serve as campaign leaders, which makes sense, and they lead by example. They show up to all the volunteering events and serve the community. In addition to the financial contribution to the Rapid Response Fund, thank you, Deloitte also donated about 2,000 protective masks to community partners during a critical time in the COVID response. Thank you so much, Deloitte, thank you for your financial service as well as your actual service to the community. All right, let's take a second before we do our top 10 and just give some love to everyone here in the chat. All right. So let's get down to business here. We are going to announce our top 10 campaigns for 2019. It's very exciting. All right. Now, you're all going to have to bear with me because I'm going to read every dollar amount that was raised by these organizations. Every dollar counts, so I'm reading them, okay? So our first campaign and corporate partner that I want to acknowledge is Caterpillar Inc. They raised $205,624 for 2019. Congratulations, Caterpillar. Thank you so much for your commitment to our work. Harris Teeter raised $210,000, $429 for 2019. Coastal Credit Union raised $240,547, 2019. Wow. I can't imagine what 2020 is going to look like. Y'all were killing the game in 2019. UPS raised $257,814. Thank you so much. Incredible campaign. Public Supermarket Incorporated, Publix came in at $261,000. Oh, $261,000 and $109,000. Come on, Publix. First Citizens Bank, $336,557. Thank you, First Citizens. Wells Fargo at $382,866. Incredible. RTI International, $499,931, which we should just round that up to $500,000, right? Everybody with me on that? That's $500,000. Thank you, RTI, for your commitment to our work. Incredible. And then before we get to our top campaign, I want to acknowledge Truist Bank for a campaign total of $621,253. Thank you, Truist. And then last but really not least, the top campaign that we had last year in 2019, that corporate partner is Duke Energy. Duke Energy raised a total of $791,972 for 2019. Thank you, Duke Energy. Thank you to all of our partners, our builders that are on this luncheon with us today. This is the work. This is why we do this, right? Every dollar counts. The community understands that every dollar that we raise, more money goes back into the community. So thank you so, so much. All right, so now let's bring this all to life. It's my pleasure now to introduce you to Ron Pringle, who's the CEO of the Interfaith Food Shuttle. And he's going to give us a little bit of the glimpse into why we do what we do.
Good afternoon. My name is Ron Pringle, and I'm the new president and CEO of the Interfaith Food Shuttle. And I'm very, very excited to talk to you a little bit about what Interfaith Food Shuttle is, who we serve, and how United Way has really helped us to be able to reach even further into this community. The Interfaith Food Shuttle, our mission is to create informative and transformational solutions to domestic hunger right here in the Triangle. And we all have seen the recent effects of this pandemic and how it's been affecting our community. Well, Interfaith Food Shuttle immediately jumped in and began to meet those immediate needs. Our mantra here is to teach, feed, and grow. And this is where the feeding component of our program really stepped up, where we launched our mobile distributions and set up distributions throughout the community so that individuals can have access to healthy, nutritious food, including an abundance of produce. Where we partner with county school systems and we're able to provide hot meals investing your dollars back into this local communities through partnerships with local restaurants to ensure that every child that was out of school had access to healthy food. And now we're gearing up and getting ready for an upcoming school season. Uncertain as to whether we're going to be in school or whether we're going to be out of school. Because of partners like United Way, Interfaith Food Shuttle has the opportunity to prepare on all fronts. So regardless of what the activities are, we are setting ourselves up in a position so we can strategically move to continue serving those students while they're home, or to relaunch critical programs like our backpack programs or our summer weekend feeding programs for our children to ensure that they have access to food throughout this pandemic. So supporters like you who are supporting your companies through the support of United Way really builds our confidence in knowing that we are going to be here for this community. And it's a true example of how a community takes care of a community. The Interfaith Food Shuttle is a community organization. We're a nonprofit, and I am so honored to be leading those efforts and quarterbacking this from this particular position. However, I'm only doing this because of your support. We are only in this position and have the ability to be superheroes because of organizations like the United Way. United Way reaches into the community. They help us to define the need. They help to find the resources to meet those needs. And they invest in programs like ours that have proven to be successful, that have proven to provide the metrics and the results of the outcomes that we're looking for, to demonstrate that we are truly having the long-term social impact that's really, really needed. Leading a nonprofit organization, it's important to be able to look generations down the road to really see the long-term impact. And I thank you, the supporters of United Way. I thank our United Way family and friends for that continued efforting and showing that we're able to help meet that need going forward. So thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Ron. And congratulations again to our corporate partners. This sort of pulls it all together, right? Hearing the work that Ron does makes it come to life. We literally cannot do this work without you. And Eric reminds me all the time that what we do is putting more resources into the street, right? Into our communities. That's why we do what we do, right? We're not just a fundraising organization. It's not as sterile as that. We are a community organization. We are a community organization. We exist to serve the community, and we cannot do that without you. So thank you again for an incredible 2019. You know me, I bounce back and forth with my notes. I get a little impassioned, and I'd be like, stay on track. Marianne told me 59 minutes, and I promise you that we are going to get you back to regularly scheduled programming within the next few minutes. But I do just want you to know that from my bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all of your just incredible work and the investment that you make. So that was 2019. We did a great recap. Now it's on to 2020, right? And what does that mean? What does it mean to go into 2020 when nothing really feels like it's anchored anymore? There really doesn't have a lot of meaning that we can pull down from. Well, what it means is that this year is going to go down in the history books. It already has. This year, 2020 is already in the record books. So what does that mean for our campaigns? Well, what I think it means is that we are going to have an inspired campaign, more inspired than ever before. This 2020 campaign is going to reach heights that it needs to reach. You know why? Because our community needs us more than ever. And I'm a community member as much as I am a passionate, love of the United Way. I love the work, but I also live in this community. I raise a son in this community. And when this community needs help, we show up. We come through. We do. And 2020 is going to be no different. I believe that. So we are headed into an inspired campaign. We're going to come through with and for one another. We know the needs of our neighbors. We know the needs of our friends. We know the needs of our colleagues and our family members. And maybe you know your own needs. We are not going to let you down. That's what 2020 looks like. This year is going to go down in history, and it's going to go down in history because of you. Thank you.
There's something that happens during a crisis.
All of a sudden,
So many of the people in the penthouse
and the people working 3 jobs to get by
find themselves open to the same vulnerability.
Unsure of what their futures hold.
COVID-19 showed so many of us what it means to lose everything overnight.
It's easy to pretend that it will never happen to you.
Until it does.
Our neighbors experiencing poverty already know this fear. They wake up with it. They drive with it.
They eat with it.
They sleep with it.
The fear of losing their home, their children going hungry, their jobs disappearing.
This isn't a new feeling because they don't often experience real security or control over tomorrow.
COVID-19 didn't create poverty, but it did make it worse, especially for our neighbors stuck under the weight of systemic oppression.
Which is why people already struggling were hit harder.
And why now they have further to rise.
We
are committed to supporting Triangle residents through thick and thin.
From the beginning of poverty to the end of racial injustice.
Because COVID-19 has made it clear that while our challenges divide us,
our shared experiences can unite us.
Home by home,
we can.
Street by street,
we will.
Community by community,
we must.
Build a better way forward.
United.
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 We're back and we're masked up. I get the opportunity to kick this over to Eric Gacan, the president and CEO of the United Way of the Greater Triangle, to close us out this year and send us on our way to an incredible 2020 campaign year. Eric?
Thank you, Jess.
Welcome.
Pretty phenomenal job by Jess there, right? I mean, she's really amazing. We're so fortunate to have Jess with us and all of you with us today. That video was really something. I think it really captures what a movement we've become over the past few years here. We're hearing it from all over. I just was one of our team members today shared that he was speaking to Leo, who's the owner in Durham called Zwali's, and he was talking about United Way and said, look, you just keep doing what you're doing. You're in community. You're doing the work that needs to be done. And so we're hearing it from small businesses. I was on the phone with Bev and Kristen, Bev of the local Nationwide, and Kristen of the national Nationwide. Great partner of ours, doing tremendous anti-racism work, and they too were like really impressed with the work that we're doing. And finally, we had Peter Buffett, who was in town last April, and he too is telling us to keep doing what you're doing. Be bold, be innovative, be in community, be by community, be with community. And we have really put everybody on watch that this is not your grandfather's United Way. This is a movement here in the Triangle that is leaning into our long tradition of being a community that does things differently and that does things together and that does things united. And each and every one of you that are here today are a testimony to that. Just a little bit of how these kind of things have manifested themselves in the last year. And they've manifested themselves very quickly as we've responded to crisis. The Durham One Fund responded to the McDougall Terrace crisis in Durham, a tragedy, and we earned the trust of the community there, not because we told them what they needed, but because we listened. And I'm so grateful to our team and to all of you for getting involved in the McDougall Terrace response. Then, of course, we had the COVID-19 crisis that we're all in and that I referenced earlier. We have, in the last few months, we've contributed, we've raised, thanks to many people in this virtual room, over $1.3 million. We've put all of that into the community in stages based on need, based on proximate philanthropy. And we are reimagining and reinventing the way that we do philanthropy, not only here at United Way, but again, set the standard for others to follow. And most recently, just last week, thanks to partnerships with WRAL and with Band Together, we launched our anti-racism community fund. And I want to thank so many of the leaders that stepped up and will continue to step up and partner with us. We are an anti-poverty organization, but you cannot be an anti-poverty organization without being anti-racist. And we are taking a strong stand on this. And it's a stand that we've been taking, and it's a stand that we'll continue to take together. So I am really proud of the work that we're doing together. This campaign it has never been more important, and we appreciate you all stepping up. And I'm going to announce something here today that is really historic for this United Way, and I think for United Ways all over the country. We have been chosen to be a resilient community. And that is one of two United Ways across the whole country that have been asked to work in partnership with some of the leading philanthropies in the country to do things differently as we recover from this pandemic. We are not going to go back to normal. Normal for many, many folks has not been good enough. We are going to increase the amount of access and the amount of impact that our community has, because we're going to go deeper and we are going to work harder and listen more than we ever have before. This is historic. There are 1,100 United Ways across the country, 1,600 worldwide, and we were one of two, us in Albuquerque, New Mexico, that are going to be setting the standard to become a resilient community here in the Triangle, and the goal is for many, many other communities to follow. But the fact that we have become that United Way is historic, and it's because of you and the tremendous momentum that we have. We are just getting started. I am on fire to keep going, and we have so much work to do. You guys are amazing, and we're just thrilled. This is a tough time. I don't want to diminish that. But we have to celebrate the work that we're doing here because it matters so much, and you matter so much, and your families matter so much. I am speaking to you right now, and I know you're not. We're not at a typical luncheon here. You're in your living rooms, many of you. You're working with your families, and this stuff, it affects all of us. And you want for your children, your son, your daughter, my daughters, you want the same thing that everybody deserves. And we have to ensure that everyone, regardless of circumstances, has the opportunity to make this happen. And I am so committed and have never been more committed before than I am with you. And we're just grateful for everything that you do. So go ahead and network and have fun. And I'm going to get myself together here, but we're fired up. We're ready to go. And we couldn't be more happy and more committed to leaning into our mission to eradicate poverty and increase social mobility through the power of partnerships. The Triangle is going to be the first to do it. Thanks, and have a great day.